It's the season to go outdoors, but you never know what's lurking out there. We're talking today with Jordan here at Trillium Creek about plant dermatitis. What does that mean?
So plant dermatitis is an inflammation of the skin as a consequence of coming into contact with some plants. Most commonly in Ohio, that is poison ivy.
Okay, or poison oak. I mean, which is which here?
So poison oak looks a little bit different. You usually find it in the northern part, so more in Michigan. In Ohio, it's the 3 leaves, let it be.
Right.
It can be lurking on the ground, on the vines. You'll see a lot of that as well.
So we go hiking, we do gardening. Really, does this jump out at you? Because I have the hardest time finding poison ivy, and I've had poison ivy a number of times. It seems to bother me the older I get.
I see that a lot in patients, actually, and I also hear the same thing. People know what to look for, and they've recognized it, but as of the last couple of years, it's jumping out at them.
Right.
Yeah, maybe as they're cleaning out flower beds, it's just something that they're not seeing, or it's old dead vines that you can still come into contact with.
Right, exactly.
Absolutely.
Right.
So,
and when you see an old dead vine, there's no leaves of 3,
correct.
So you just never know.
It's tough, and sometimes your pets are bringing it in, so they're running through the woods, getting all those oils and things on their skin, and then bringing it into you.
Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's go outside, and we spend some time hiking. What should we do, just as a general precaution, just in case we did come in contact?
I would say prevention is key. So wearing the long clothing, the gloves, if you're in the garden, pants, high socks. Prevention is key. If you get it, or if you think you came into contact with it, strip as soon as you can. When you get home, get those clothes off. Maybe even a rinse off would be helpful. However, if you came into contact with it, even with all the best measures, you're going to get the rash.
All right, let's talk about it, because it's an oil, isn't it? That's what's being passed on your own body.
Exactly.
You get it on your hands, you don't know it, then you take the oil and you rub your face and you don't know that, then you've got it everywhere.
Correct, and that's what's causing the allergic reaction. So you'll see blisters, redness, intense itching, and often there's a delayed reaction. So where you had maybe the most exposure on your leg, that's where it'll show up first, and then the later places you touched, like your face, that will show up later, up to 2 weeks later.
Let me give you an example. Let's say I go outside, I come in contact with poison ivy on a Monday. It doesn't show up until Tuesday evening. Is it contagious to people that are around me on Wednesday?
Not really, no. So as long as those oils are off of your skin, it's not contagious. People think that they're spreading it, by touching their skin, and once you have it and you've rinsed off, you're really not going to get any more of it. But again, that delayed reaction confuses patients. They think that they are spreading it to themselves, and it's just delayed.
Jordan, this is great information. What do I do if I think I have the oil on me? What do I use?
Water. Just get in the shower, rinse off. Yep, little gentle soap. Dove is what we recommend typically.
Right.
Again, you're still going to get about 50% of the reaction, even if you rinse off within 10 minutes.
Okay. All right. So what about the over-the-counter medications for that?
So they have a lot of anti-itch creams. A lot of my patients like the pink salve, anything that just distracts you from the itch. In the office, we could give you a stronger topical steroid to settle that inflammation, settle that itch, but there's no cure. Once you have it, you have it. It's just getting through it.
It's got to run its course.
Exactly.
Okay. When do we come and see someone like you?
I think if you're getting more than what you think you can handle. So if it's just a little spot, a little bit itchy, you could probably manage that on your own. But if you're starting to get it in a lot of different areas, I don't want a patient to get to the point where they're miserable and not sleeping.
Right.
So as soon as you start to see it, come on in.
And just to review, if you do have poison ivy and it gets red and it gets bumpy and a couple of days later, you're not contagious anymore.
Correct.
Okay.
Nope.
Awesome information. There are 4 locations for Trillium Creek, correct?
Correct. Medina, Wadsworth, Worcester, and Brunswick.
Thank you so much. For more information, tcohio.com. Jordan, always a pleasure.
Thank you.